We lead off our G2E CEO one-on-one interviews this year, appropriately enough, with Trevor Croker, who's the CEO of Aristocrat. And I say appropriately enough because I can't think of one major supplier company that has had as successful a run as Aristocrat has had. So we're pleased to have you here today, Trevor, to tell us your secret to success.
Thanks, Frank. It's great to be here.
A year ago, you were the relatively new CEO of Aristocrat. Now you've got a year and a half under your belt. What have you learned about Aristocrat and about the gaming industry during this past year?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. I was fortunate enough to come into the role after having a number of years in the industry prior, so it was a good opportunity for me to see the industry in many different perspectives, both from an operations perspective, also from a product and management perspective as well. So I had a little bit of a run-in, which was helpful. If I think about what's important to Aristocrat in my last 18 months that I've noticed is culture. We believe that culture is a very important part of success, and it's a very important part of contributing to our ongoing success as an organisation. Whilst we've had a good culture of delivery and of performance, we think that we need a broader culture, and we're really focusing on expanding that culture now to focus on three really important aspects. One is customer centricity, the second one is innovation, and the third one is around putting people first. And you can never get complacent with culture, but we think that's an important part of how it will continue to drive Aristocrat success going forward.
I was looking at your market cap the other day. And what caused me to do that, as a couple months ago, I was visiting with the former Aristocrat executive, who I'm sure you know, named Kent Young, and I told him what the market cap was, and he looked at me and he said, wow, it wasn't anything like that when I was there. How are you going to maintain this sort of success? You know, we have an industry that's had a history of dominant companies, and you're not dominant yet, of course. But just tell us how you're going to, if I'm an investor, what I can look for 2 and 3 years out.
Yeah, so we've got a reasonably good recipe for our continued performance, and our recipe really comes down to a couple of key points. First of all, it's really around putting customers at the centre of everything we do, and that's really around having great product that meets our customers' needs. And we do that by having fantastic technology and development talent, and we have a real focus on investing in our technology and our games business as a whole. The second part is really around about this customer centricity. We've got to provide a solution to our customers, and if we don't provide the right solutions, then they've got alternatives out there and they can purchase from other people. It doesn't happen to be the solution, it has to be the quality of that solution as well. So making great quality games, delivering them on time, having great performance is just the start of it. The other parts that come to that is then what do we do around quality, how do we offer a broader service and broader proposition to our customers as well. And really that's where we've started to step into adjacencies, often adjacencies away from our core business that have largely come as a consequence of either customer opportunity or market opportunity where we've seen ways to grow. And then our third part around this is really about what we call think big, act small. It's really about making sure that complacency doesn't become part of our culture, doesn't become part of who we are, and focusing on doing things better, faster, and more efficient than anyone else. And we're really focused on driving that and making sure that we keep our hubris through this whole process. And as I said earlier, culture becomes a big part of that, and that's why we keep focusing on customer centricity, innovation, and people first.
When Aristocrat first came to the United States, it was a video game company. And in fact, it even had a name. They were called Australian-style slot machines. And a big part of your growth here in North America has been diversification of products. And you've done a lot in that regards. Can you just update us a little bit about where you are today in diversifying products and where you're going to take Aristocrat next?
Sure, thank you. Yeah, we were a video slot company for a long time, and we're still very proud of that because we do see that as part of our core DNA. And even if you think about games like Buffalo, for instance, you know, that was a game made in Australia, which is now the #1 game in North America and continues to be after 10 years. So our core video business is strong. We've recently stepped into Stepper again, and I know you've probably interviewed previous people where we've entered Stepper before, but we entered Stepper this time because we had the confidence of working with VGT. The VGT acquisition built the strength in the stepper category. It built our understanding of mechanical stepper, and we've now moved into stepper and starting to build out a portfolio on stepper. Similarly, we've seen the other thing reversed the other way, where we've been able to take video content into Class 2 and starting to provide Ovation product for our VGT business. And now that's been out for just over 18 months now, and start to see that moving through. On top of that, there's other adjacencies. So we're just about to enter Washington CDS through a partnership with the Tulalip tribe. So that will happen in the next month. And we've also been in trials in VLT in the last 6 months, and we'll be looking to move into more provinces in this financial year in the VLT segment. Other sectors that you may be interested in as well is we are obviously looking, or not obviously, we are entering the bar top category. So we will be entering bar top this year. We see that as an opportunity again, where it's a natural extension of our core capability. We are a video company, but we do make good slots, and we do believe we can make a good, compelling solution for bar top. So all of those solutions are coming down the pipe, and we have got some more that we're thinking about, and we continue to take a rigorous approach to the way we address these segments. Is what is the segment, what is the capability, do we have the capability, and then can we build on that to be successful?
Aristocrat has made a couple of very large investments in the past year in the interactive space, in social and other forms of online gaming. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of commentary. Obviously we're in reporting, so I won't go into any sort of real detail there, but we've seen an opportunity to expand our business, and we take the same approach in our corporate business as we do in our product businesses. We look at our core strengths and capabilities. We look at new markets and adjacencies, and then we decide, can we be successful in those markets and adjacencies from what we know? And so we did that with Plarium, which was the one we did in August last year, or October last year. And that was really about, we've been looking at the casual games market for some time. We've been looking at various companies in the casual games market, trying to understand what are the economics, how do those businesses work? And we looked deeply into it, and we found that Plarium was the right model for us, in that it was a diversified portfolio, strong capability, very, very good capability when it came to segmentation, game development, speed of development and technology. And so we saw that as a real next step for us as a company to provide us a diversified solution. Also, the players that play Plarium games are completely diverse to our current players. So it's a different player demographic, allows us to engage with a different set of players. And then Big Fish was a good acquisition for us because it built a natural bridge between social casino and casual games. So it has a foot in both camps. It has a strong casino business, which has really built its business from, and then has expanded into casual businesses. And those casual business had good third-party relationships and strong brands. So we see that as a nice natural bridge. So it gives us access to about $50 billion in mobile gaming, growing at about 13 to 14% CAGR. In the social casino business, we're sitting at about, we're sitting number 2 now with the acquisition of Big Fish and Product Madness in a $5 billion category, so we see strong growth in that as well.
One of your colleagues, Steve Sutherland at Konami, talks about the extra benefit that Konami gets from sort of outside thinking from the other Konami businesses. And I wonder if over time, maybe it's not even thought about or planned today, if you might not get some of those same synergies, if that's the right word, from somebody like Plarium that's coming from a different perspective.
Absolutely right, and that's one of the early signs that we've seen, is these great learnings that are coming through from the digital businesses. And in fact, when you have a look at our systems product on the floor here today, you'll see some of the metagame concepts that we've started to learn as a consequence of our social casino business, social casino and social games. So we're seeing a lot of learnings coming through already. And we're quietly confident around what that will mean for us as an organisation as well.
I mentioned at the beginning the tremendous growth in the value of the stock. What is it today that you would like investors to best understand about Aristocrat?
Yeah, Aristocrat's a growth business. You know, we're a long-term, we're focused on the long term, and we're a growth organisation and a growth business. And the important thing that Aristocrat does every year is it fully funds its growth for the next years. And so we continue to invest heavily in D&D. So we invest a lot around creative and innovation. That's very important. We also spend a lot of time on user acquisition, which is continuing to fuel the growth for our digital businesses. And then we invest capital with our customers to put gaming machines on the floor. So we're a sustainable growth stock. We're a long-term investor. We fund our growth every year through our P&L. And whilst that might mean some short-term paying from a profit point of view. We believe the long-term growth of the shares and the appreciation from a total shareholder point of view is the right way to do it.
My annual question, will you someday list on an American exchange?
It's a good question, and it's a question that our board asks on an annual basis as well as to whether that's appropriate. We are a very good Australian-based stock. We provide great exposure for our Australian investors into the US market, into the US dollar. It's a question that our board considers on a regular basis and will continue to consider, and I'm sure next year when we catch up we'll have another conversation about it as well.
One last question. We're here at G2E, where 30,000 people are gathering to see what are the must-see products for 2018. What are the products people must see when they stop by the Aristocrat booth?
Well, we've got a lot to show this year. Our depth and breadth continues to expand as we get into more and more adjacencies, but I'll run through just a couple because I'm sure you're going to run out of time if I keep going. First of all, we're very proud of Buffalo. Buffalo is 10 years old this year, the strongest brand in the North American gaming market, and so we're very, very happy with Buffalo, and there's a new Buffalo Diamond coming through on the Flame cabinet. The Flame is a new curved cabinet. It's got some great brands behind it, such as Westworld. Billions is coming to that cabinet as well, and Big Bash. You then can have a look at some of the Edge X, and we've got some new licenses in Madonna, Mad Max Fury Road coming to the market. But we're also very proud of some of the innovation that's coming through in our stepper category as well, with Gold Stacks and Buffalo Gold and Five Dragons Gold going onto our stepper for sale cabinet at the same time. So we're very happy with the portfolio. The two things that I think I'm most excited by is our systems portfolio now, is we've got a very broad offering in a kiosk. It's got great loyalty, bonusing, reporting, card reprinting and marketing all in a single kiosk, and we're very happy with that. And VGT, it's just a wonderful business. You know, it's got a great footprint, it's got very loyal customers, and we've been able to expand our number of games we're making in the VGT portfolio, which we're very happy with.
Great. Anything else you'd like to touch upon, Trevor?
No, I'd just like to wish everyone a great G2E show, and thank you for spending the time with me.
Well, thank you. It was enjoyable and informative.
Thank you.